Okay, on. Appears to be fine dandy. Text this, that. Go. Front on board. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, right. We're back for some more Ace Attorney. We're just on the very end of the first investigation for the story right now. Literally just gonna, I'm pretty sure straight ahead, go straight to the interrogation part of courtroom stuff.
Yeah, I think that this is probably the last bit of information we need, yeah.
Yeah, it was like we were just on the verge of up the game because it doesn't want to be quiet when you tap out, and I can't be asked to do the whole volume mixer crap to mute all that such.
That is completely fair.
I only had a way to separate all the media into separate channels and it to not break in the process. No, I can't do that luxury. I don't know, it could be different now. My whole new computer, it might actually work for me. It's nah.
Yeah, it's like audio channel stuff will always be weird and never work entirely how you want it to. Just I think that it's going to be a constant.
It'd be nice for that luxury, but I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Right, so we got the evidence we need to prove the connection between lady, doctor, whatever. So
yeah.
And double click it, and so easy to program.
Yep. I'm no longer that must be easy to do.
Know what the evidence should be.
This is the only other thing. It's like it takes so long to get to the point again.
Accidentally right clicked too many times. You have to see this animation every time.
And then they again talk about this.
Just looking for the green text. As soon as I see that, then there. You're relevant to this. I know it. Take a look at this newspaper clipping.
Like, what is it? It's talking about an accident.
Please read the victim's name.
Minnie.
Miney.
Yeah.
Miney is a pretty rare last name, wouldn't you say? Miss Mimi? Miss Mimi Miney? Wouldn't have to be a relative of yours, would she?
So, you noticed. She was my older sister.
Sorry about your loss. Your sister, was she a nurse? Perhaps at Dr. Gray's surgical clinic? Gray's surgical clinic? I don't think I need to tell you that the clinic was run by the victim, Dr. Turner Gray. Which is how you knew of Dr. Gray. You knew him through your sister. Curses. Simple deduction for the plan. Please, tell me what you know about Dr. Gray.
My sister's name was Mimi Manny. He was like a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic.
That's what I thought.
I heard that like Dr. Gray was really tough on people, like a total slave driver. This was like always coming home totally wiped out because she was overworked.
Wiped out? So, is that why she fell asleep at the wheel?
That guy like drove my sister so hard, so like that. Well, the accident happened.
One where 14 patients died from malpractice?
Yeah, like I think it was the doctor's fault too. My sister's pushed by like everyone's expectations and like do this and stuff, and that pushed her to her death.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So like, are we done? I've like already told my story to like everyone. Do you understand now, Mr. Nick? This is how Cyclock works.
Well, I don't plan to pry into people's hearts unless I absolutely need to. If I need to, I mean I'm gonna do it with everyone.
Yeah. The lock this time was pretty easy, but You might meet people who aren't as willing to give later on. If you don't have enough proof, be careful and know when to stop trying.
Okay. I think that's... Gotta wait for something to trigger, I suppose.
Yeah, go for the challenge chamber.
Already checked there.
Okay.
Check back at... Let's see. This is one of those, it's like, if I've missed something, a guide would be helpful. Usually it's a piece of
Yeah,
evidence.
it's like I'm bringing it up right now.
Yeah, we haven't talked to someone. Ah, here we go.
Mr. Nick?
Hmm? What's wrong?
I have never left Korean village.
Really? Wow, that's, pretty amazing.
You are going to meet with Mystic Maya, aren't you? Please tell her I said hi.
Hey, wait! Ran off. Again. I know Eni's secret now, but I don't have any idea how I'm going to save Maya. I don't even know if I should go in there with a smile or straight face.
Phoenix, Lawyer always smiles. Didn't Mia tell you this?
What am I supposed to do? I'm almost out of time. Can I really do anything? Can I really save her? Huh? Must be Maya. Voice.
That's well. Oh.
Mia!
Even without me being here, it looks like you've learned to stand on your own.
Mia. Maya's older sister and my mentor. She's a top-notch defense lawyer, but a certain case forced her into retirement. But whenever I'm in trouble, she comes to help, just like this. Spirit comes back from the other world and borrows Maya's body for a bit.
Phoenix, you can't make the kind of face in front of your clients. Okay, so she says it now. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets, and especially when it's bad.
Mia.
Can't smile at the end if you haven't been smiling the whole way through. In any case, the face you're making now is no face to show a client, Phoenix.
But...
Don't tell me all about it. I'm going to guess that my sister's in a lot of trouble again.
Understatement? I told her everything about what had happened in the last 2 days. Mia closed her eyes, deep in thought, listened.
I see.
Mia, what am I supposed to do?
It's pretty clear what a good lawyer does in this situation.
And that is? Tell me, please!
Believe in your convictions. And fight for the complete acquittal of your client.
Do that. You're possessing her right now.
Couldn't she, like, Mia just possess her all the time and then Maya doesn't exist anymore?
That sounds like a different plot point right there, and it's itself. You think Maya's
But
not...
actually,
I wouldn't be surprised if Ace Attorney does that as a plot point. I haven't done all the games,
Yeah.
so, you know, I'm just guessing.
yeah.
Think Maya's not guilty? How could you be so sure?
I know she is, and I'll give you a hint as to why.
Yes?
Mediums can't have dreams.
They can't?
From what you told me, it sounds like Maya was having a dream while channeling.
Yeah. That she dreamt that she had died and buried in the ground.
But that is impossible. You've heard it from her, I'm sure. When a medium channels her own spirit disappears. Which means that it's impossible for her to dream during that time.
Then, What does this mean?
I think it's safe to bet that Maya was set up.
Set up?
It's up to you to blow the lid on this case tomorrow and show how she was set up.
How am I supposed to prove her innocence when I have nothing to go on?
If you're looking for a clue, it's already in your hands.
It is?
Just as it sounds, Phoenix, you already hold the key.
Really?
Come on, show me the key to this case. Phoenix, you're literally an idiot again. Like,
Key, huh? Right, I'll show it to her. The key I hold.
I didn't really notice the first time, but like, this is such a weird plot point of it. Like, Phoenix, you saw this key like 10 minutes
It was explicitly
before the
stated.
incident,
There's only the
and
one
then
key.
afterwards, yeah, it's like, that is a really distinct key.
Very distinct key, and it was stated that the key was only from the inside. How could it be outside now? Mia, have you seen this key before?
Ah, the key. It's literally the key to understanding everything that happened in this case.
This key?
Phoenix, listen. Right now the key's sitting in your hand. However, it shouldn't be. It contradicts the facts.
What does she mean?
I'm certain this key will be the piece of evidence that makes your case tomorrow. You already know everything you need to know. You just have to think, Phoenix, think. You know what the key to this case is. That is enough.
But how can I win tomorrow without knowing who the real murderer is? Who could have... Didn't know it at the time. This day was going to end with a turn for the surprising. Only 3. Mia! What?
It's fine.
That's right. Only I can see the Cyclops. I mean, assuming people of the spirit world can see them. I would
She
imagine...
probably also would be understanding if you say you have Cyclones, like, oh, yeah.
I would imagine she would have had like 5 or 6, which I think 5 does exist. I'm not sure if there's a 6 one.
5 absolutely exists. I don't think I've seen 6.
I've seen Blacklock variants. Those don't actually open.
Huh.
Which means Mia must know something about the real murderer. This to be something that she would hide under lock and key from even me. What in the world is going on? Well, we spared another 20 minutes, but we weren't feeling it at that time.
I didn't because waking up from work.
Why do these games? These ones happen to be a little longer than usual for some reason.
Doesn't mean that long, but yeah, I get your point. I enjoy it, Tony. You introduced me to this. This is your fault.
But you picked this game.
Yeah, because it's also really good. Except for the next case, but what? Prosecutor von Karma, you mean?
No, I heard it's a successor this time.
Successor? I mean, von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks. Also, he could win.
He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sort of dirty tricks he used for those guilty verdicts. Now, his successor? I don't know what kind of person it will turn out to be.
It's no good. Mystic Maya! Really? You should have. Thanks for coming all this way.
We're here on our own.
I was really worried about you. Hey. What's the matter? Didn't you two come together?
Yep, raising that question even further.
Mother's watching over the twinnies. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Then you came out by yourself?
Ow, at her age? I doubt she even has money.
Yeah, I snuck out of the manor and followed the map.
I'm sorry, she walked here? Don't tell me you walked all the way here.
Of course not. I ran.
That's not... I mean, she's a kid, she has energy. Okay, fine, but... it takes 2 hours to get here by train.
Great, yeah, I know.
That's... I can't... Oh my, if it takes 2 hours by train, oh man. I'm glad I'm thinking way ahead of the script here.
Yeah. Really? What about the train? Huh? What's a train?
Okay, she must know something about that. I give up.
It's like, yeah. Yeah, it's like, you should have picture books of trains at some point.
I mean, she's got to be educated to a certain degree. Like, she must know that people get here by the mountains via the train.
It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Onkama tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Onkama. Mr. Edgy, where is that? His name's Bible. And he's also a friend. I still remember him as for... I'd only see... I still remember him as for... I would see him only yesterday. Is it? Correct?
It's just monologue.
Yeah, that was like... Every time was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. It was always back and forth with them, but when your battles were like...
Maya, please don't mention that name ever again.
Huh? But Eilig...
I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone. He's not coming back.
What? Wait a second. What's that supposed to mean?
Well, we'll commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway.
Nick? That was a great job on phrasing that, Phoenix. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. I feel like I've been here before. Are the prosecution and the defense prepared?
It's with this kid.
Mr. White, are you prepared?
Huh? Yes, Your Honor. He always seemed mad at me.
Mr. Phoenix, you must be a little shell-shocked because I'm a woman, correct?
Hold on, so she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Kara?
I'm Franziska Von Kama, the prodigy.
I see.
I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge.
Revenge? This is about her father, Manfred Von Kama?
If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Oh! I'm talking.
Is that allowed? That's a weapon in the courtroom, isn't it?
If you interrupt again, I will do the speaking for me.
Please speak with your mouth like a normal person. I beg of you. Yeah!
Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix White. Prosecutor Von Kama, your opening statement, please. Also, kind of like, the first thing is like, I'm only doing this trial to get revenge on you. I'm really qualified to make this a fair judgment of love. Those von Karma blood have only one thing, and that is perfection. The defense and Mayor Fay will find no escape for her guilty on my watch. Roll. What is the defense position?
Your Honor?
Does the defense wish to enter a plea of non-guilty?
Yes.
Foolish fool who foolishly dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's fine. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time.
Justified self-defense? Plea usually reserved for when a person unintentionally kills in defense of themselves. You could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Plea justifies self-defense is to say you did kill someone.
How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Mr. Phoenix White, then I shall now call the first witness.
She's just as scary as her father. Father like daughter, I suppose.
Also, she studied law in Germany. She shouldn't be allowed to study in this Japan-US version of a country.
Yeah, it's like I'm not sure how this works in Ace Attorney. Is this a case where like Japan is been translated into America or vice versa?
Yeah.
that's been done with there's a Japanese surgeon visual novel kind of similar to this that literally just did that where when they translated they just made Japan America, and then when anything globally appeared it's like that is clearly Japan. No, it's America.
Yeah, and it is also quite a bit here. Yeah, but so it's like, you know, in the US you cannot even practice law in a different state if you don't pass the exam there. It's like, how is she doing this?
Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct.
Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder.
Yes, sir. If everyone will please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room.
What were they doing in there?
They were channeling a spirit, sir.
Channeling a spirit?
It's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room.
And that's when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and short cases I have ever presided over. So, how was the victim killed?
About to get to that.
Stop wasting my time then.
He's being pretty efficient, don't blame him on that.
Yeah, it's like... it's pretty much all pointed out relevant information right now.
Ooh, okay. It's like, I don't have an autopsy report, this is a first one.
Yeah, it's like, I thought they did anyways, what's the point of reading it?
The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. Before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing.
So the victim was stabbed before being shot.
This is the victim's autopsy report, sir.
The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. White, you may question the witness.
I'll do that in a second. I just want to double check that autopsy report. It could have updated the very second it reached my hands. Let's see. No designated timestamp, which kind of simplifies it a bit.
Yeah, because for this one, time doesn't really matter because we know when it happened.
Oh, you don't know that. He could have died a few minutes after the event. I don't know. Bodies are weird.
True. yeah, true.
Might as well press an all of them. There's no harm to it. Murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. Victim? Now, why would he have...
Why would he have a pistol? Who cares?
I don't know, that's pretty fucking important information.
It's like... I don't think it's weird to bring that to a channel. And then it's not that weird considering he, heavily implied that he killed her.
It's the fact that he brought a pistol and yet he was ended up killed by said weapon.
Yeah.
Raises questions in general.
The fact that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you stop. Fingerprints? There were fingerprints.
Along with the victims. The defendant, Maya Faye's, were also on the grip, sir.
So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon.
Ah, that walked right into our hands there. Not really? You were just gonna get to that conclusion anyway. Point blank, huh? So, about how far away is that? Well, it's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know he was shot at point blank?
Also, I don't know how far 12 to 20 inches are. It's like, that didn't help me at all.
Something tells me
It's
about
the Phoenix side.
Something tells me about the distance of, let's see, whenever you do the phone call hand gesture between your thumb and your, probably, something like that.
Okay.
I'm just assuming. I don't know my measurements either.
I got tired of the foolish foolery or the foolish fools of this foolish country.
Who's the bigger fool? The fool or the fool who follows him?
You're all fools.
Excuse me?
Gunpowder burn.
Gunpowder burn?
When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole.
Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. Definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Okay, alright, semantics on this. It's less gunpowder burns and more just general smoke coming out of the nozzle of the gun, really? That's semantics, doesn't really matter.
Yeah. It sounds fine, but I don't really know that much about guns.
I've watched enough Mythbusters to know how a gun works.
It also took me way too long to realize why you cannot just pull the trigger for a semi-automatic rifle and have it instantly reload, because the firing is what triggers the reloading mechanism. It's like, yeah, that actually makes sense. But I was like, why did they have to do something extra for the first one?
To prime the gun. Something has to load that first bullet.
Yeah, but it's like, well, if it's automatically does it after it's shot, why doesn't it do it for the first one? That's stupid.
Well, it does if you remember to stop firing after the last bullet.
Yeah, but then you still have one in it. Yeah.
And that's the point. Anyway. Wow. Never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Stabbed. And what was he stabbed with? Fruit knife.
I see. And whose knife was it?
Looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course, my face fingerprints are all over it.
All over it, huh?
God, this does not look good.
What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix White?
So I don't see anything wrong so far. How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. The testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him and to kill. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure as sure can be. One look at the wounds and you come to the same conclusion too, pal.
A fool is a fool will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first?
It does. Why didn't they shoot first? Why need stabbing?
Think a little before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
A pain.
That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered.
Brought the 2 murder weapons with me today.
Very well, the court accepts them into evidence.
We now have something that proves that 2 shots were fired.
Yeah. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m.
Told you, the timestamps are important.
Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them. This does seem like an open and shut case. But wouldn't it be a closed case? Then if it's,
It's literally a closed door murder.
Naturally.
It's going from bad to worse. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme.
Your Honor, feel free to slam that little quaver of yours. After all, there's no room left for doubt, is there? That is quite true, Mr. White.
Yes?
Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It is the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See, just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You will change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance.
Huge decision. I better think this through all the way. See, in the real world, a case like this would be just taken as on face value because there is no real possible way any outcome would. Unfortunate, but
yeah,
due to the power of bullshit.
But to be fair, we're also in the world where spirit channeling actually exists.
If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. Can't let that happen. Your Honor.
Have you reached a conclusion, Mr. White?
The defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal.
You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective?
Yes, sir.
Present the final portion of your testimony. The final strike.
Yes, sir.
No, see here, proceedings are run by... Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence.
Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Action on that one.
Yeah.
Because you saw it too.
Yeah. And I might have played this game. So, this costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this.
This piece directly links Maya Fey to the crime, sir.
I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Alright, Mr. Phoenix, right?
Just gonna have a double look on that piece of evidence. Just to be. He says, I can't see it. Oh no, so if you missed the detail, you're fucked.
Wow, that's kind
mean.
of rude, yeah.
Okay, on the left sleeve there was a little circular hole, suggesting that might be where a bullet went. Nice fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. This situation get any worse?
Watson, you seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to suck off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix, right? She's really polite in addressing him. You gotta say that.
No, it's like she does it like spite or something.
Workingly, yeah, but still, it's better than calling him Twite or something. That's not even his real name.
Mr. Phoenix, right? Please stop calling him by my full name. It's disturbing. Dave, because probably pushing on. It is weird that you can't really and it doesn't count. Okay, that's we're thinking too far ahead, but we know that is the critical piece of evidence. It's the fact you can't double check it. I guess that's the encouragement that it's not relevant right now. Might as well. He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? You find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal.
So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder charge changed drastically.
Oh, we're in real trouble now. We had something to prove that the victim did fight back. On Karma, she thinks she could decide the verdict with this testimony alone.
I think it's the gun first.
Probably. Find a critical contradiction somehow, and I'll have her. Said it.
Okay, you have to press the first statement as well.
Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? Kinda scared today, you know, pal?
No, Mr. White, there's no need for that kind of attitude in my court. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that.
Let's see how that's relevant. What guide are you looking at?
I said the third statement, didn't I?
You said first.
Okay, then I missed my side.
There's blood on the costume. Lab results show that it is the victim's blood.
So, there's blood from the victim on the defendant's clothes.
Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well...
If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on. Oh yes, Miss Okama is perfectly correct.
Oh, not even the judge is on our side. I bite off more than I can chew here. What should I do? Press. Anything will help. Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? Must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. It's weird you can't investigate the evidence, but yeah, there's a bullet hole in the left sleeve. Must be something about this costume. You just have to look harder.
Mr. White, Miss Okama's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it.
Wink.
Yeah.
So my time is up. So about this costume. Your Honor, actually, There is something very wrong with this piece of evidence.
What?
What are you talking about, pal?
Where is this problem you're talking about?
Come this far. No turning back now. The problem I have with this... let me finish. I asked the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume.
The sleeve? There's a tiny hole there.
I could poke my finger through it. A hole? But that wasn't in the report.
Hold on. What's this about the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder.
Gunpowder? No one ever told me.
A hole that smells of gunpowder.
Looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole.
Order! 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 This is a very grave matter. It's best you correct the court record first, before anything else.
Yay. Now we got evidence. Sorry about that. I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding?
Well, let's have together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke. Nothing more.
How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight.
Well, I agree it's a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence, then...
No way!
Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, sir. So now we can actually... right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
I can understand that.
Oh, now we can check it as well! Yay! Fuck off. That's bullshit. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like, Ace Attorney is such a great game. Why do you make it so difficult at some points?
I get why. They want you to properly, thoroughly, like, check the evidence the way the game wants you to do it. And I get the process. It's supposed to do it naturally, in universe. But when the player knows the information and figured it out before the game is caught up with you...
Yeah.
Anyway.
And like, this isn't hard in that case. Because you can see it.
I mean, it'd be harder to see on a smaller screen, like, say, on the DS.
Oh, yeah, true. True. I kind of probably should keep that in mind.
Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes? I mean, you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. Then what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlook supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? Ah, you're right.
It seems you're correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, it would change everything.
All right. Wind seems to be shifting.
Huh.
With that, are you finished yet, Laugh?
Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix, right? Miss Von Karma? It seems that my affair was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support a justified self-defense plea. That is correct. But I'm sure you remembered, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty.
Ah! Now that you...
Why, that's right. Which means The defense is yet to prove anything at all.
No!
Oh, well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to sustain even a plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so?
Ah!
Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course.
Huh? You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario by myself? Ah! Yes, sir. Run away, sir. During the channeling, the defendant saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun, and ended it.
The scenario you have put together does make sense.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. White?
On the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily.
Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Harden, your cross-examination, please.
The scene thing that's inherently quote wrong. I think this is now becoming more of a debate of when was the knife used, before the first shot or
Yeah.
after.
I mean, it's one thing that I noticed is like there was the bit about firing a shot in close range, but the thing doesn't have you know, the what called
Gunpowder smoke.
gunpowder, yeah.
You know, okay, we just had this just legit earlier. Is that sometimes you can't progress until you press in all the things, and then the game will move on. So this might be one. Or we know.
Okay, we don't actually have to press and stuff.
Okay. Well, I've already pressed one of them, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. Think about the blood loss. He was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would you say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward, I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Ah! Sorry. Right, what must we do?
Go to, I think, the first step is the one with close range. Oh, yeah, one back.
It's the third
Press
one.
the very close he missed. Then you can present the cloth because it doesn't have any bullet or smoke markings. I don't know. What?
But it does have markings.
No, it doesn't. It has the hole, but it doesn't have like the smoke around it.
Oh, thanks, game, for misleading us. They said it has the smell of it, but it doesn't have the visual signs of it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the game misleading you right there.
With herrings.
Missing the tiny hole in his costume will be the prosecution's undoing. Huh? What do you mean? It doesn't have smoke trailing, but I don't know, cloth is fickle. This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony.
Explain yourself, Mr. White.
You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Oh. But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume.
That is a very good point.
Definitely wanted to make the second game harder in contrast to the first game, which makes total sense for sequel logic.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time, it's like, oh, don't go in this one if this is your first time.
Yeah, it's also like the recap stuff in case you did, which I appreciate, but also like just play the first one first, like seriously.
They're not holding back to be mean this one. They know you've done this now.
And what exactly does this mean?
It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other.
I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix, right? You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? With wishy-washy thinking like that, anyone can explain anything away.
Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking.
Let's see. In the middle of the fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then when they were separated that he fired. How was that?
I can already see the problem. How does she get the gun? As if that was even possible. According to the testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that.
Well, then... That's right, the defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing it, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself.
Digging her own grave. How does the gun get in her hands? If the Dr. Gray already still has the gun.
And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took his shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense.
Josh, you're just a yes man.
Yeah. What do you think, Mr. White?
Must be careful. Can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
There is a fatal flaw in her argument, Your Honor. Fatal?
Flaw? Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation.
Has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. When she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. Must be a piece of evidence that contradicts this line of thinking. Actually, I have to think about that now. It's like, I've dug myself into this hole.
So,
I mean...
Is it a folding screen?
It might be. But you got the guide, so...
Okay, so it's like, my reasoning was more of like, well, she has a knife, and she already stabbed him. Why would she push him away instead of just stabbing again?
And if she's pushing him away, that means she has no way to access the gun that hasn't even fired yet. This
makes sense. Okay, this is a folding screen.
Hey, we're on the right ballpoint. The logic being is that the bullet hole is too low, so how did it even get to that height? This is the piece of evidence that destroys your logic.
What is that? A folding screen? You brought the entire thing with you.
I'd like to point the court's attention to the hole in this folding screen. It looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who? Where? What?
Mr. White, your explanation, please.
These two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means... When the shot was fired, the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground.
Order! This changes everything.
Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. Victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot. Bullet hits this folding screen. It hit at this location, about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. Here? Wait. Right? assuming it's like a big generalized area.
Okay. You said it's not just left of where the hole is. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She was standing here, near the folding screen.
Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole. But how can you gauge your distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim?
That's impossible.
But why?
You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she was shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume.
Ah! Curse you, Mr. Phoenix. Right, you... I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing away from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this changed the defendant's situation?
Changes everything. Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. The prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was the real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike?
Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense.
Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job! Ooh. Alright, the rest of the trial should be in the blast radius of disaster.
You're such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix, right? Think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me.
Oh, of all to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile?
Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic?
Huh? How is it all my fault?
You can start repairing your standing by first removing the priest-vent goatee. Oh, and rest assured, your punishment will come later.
Punishment?
Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness.
Next witness? That's gotta be Lara.
Well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we convene, we will hear from the next witness. Somehow I feel like I'm just getting a salary cut again.
He's already had it. Okay, pacing wise, this next section is gonna go here.
Yeah.
So do you want to stop here, or do we keep?
I think we can keep going a bit.
Okay. At least until we enter the courtroom. Phew, that was a close one.
We were giving it all that you ought to defend me. But I could be the death penalty hanging in the air.
Felt like I was pretty close to dying myself.
But you were wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made fears and tricked everyone into believing you.
Thanks. Wait, tricked?
That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? By the way, is the next witness who I think it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of heart.
Yes, there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose, me and my sis ghost will come and after you and haunt you. Yeah. Sister. You're talking about Mystic Mia. Yeah, do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that. God will now reconvene. Now the first order of... Oh. I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy. Yes, sir. Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing?
Just fine.
Some parties didn't exactly have a choice, you know. Name and occupation? Declare what in detonation? Hey, Judge, this here is violence against my first self.
Right.
That's fine. That's fine. That ain't fine. That's a rap. There is no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools.
You're used to saying that a lot.
Yeah. Just hurry and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. Haven't even gotten to say my name in shop yet.
You said it.
My name's Leatherheart. Paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify. No. Let's all be one happy family, okay? Only the dog and the defendant went to the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door, then bang! We heard this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room.
Made you want to notice that she did mention 2 gunfire shots, so we need to correct that.
And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place? Reckon, of course.
Excuse me?
Reckon, of course. It's shot for you reckon. Of course I did. Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court.
Moment of truth. What will be in that picture?
Let's see it. This here's the picture.
She's definitely holding the gun. Though in a position I was expecting. Standing by the paper wall.
Here we are. It would certainly seem that only the defendant and the victim were in the room. Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I will be. Let me double check that picture. If it allows me to look at it. See without the speech bubble in the way. In case I miss something. You never know.
Yeah.
Right hand dominant. That's anything of importance after the whole glove debacle.
Yeah, it's like that. That's a good catch because I also think that in the first game there was something with left and right hand.
Besides that, I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary. Besides the placement of where she is, by the door rather than by the paper wall. It's in the question of what the order actually is supposed to be. Clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. Okay, so first thing we should focus on is correcting that we only heard one gunfire shot. We definitely heard two, but I'm betting this is so minor it's not worth bringing up. But first we'll just press to see if we can get that out of the way. Was it really a gunshot?
Are you insane? You must have heard it as well. Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix White? Was it really a gunshot?
Yes. I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot.
And why are we here listening to the defense testify?
Well, it becomes just a little crueler.
I had a gunshot a long time ago, so I know. And I'll tell you, that was a gunshot I heard. Now, this is where the story heats up.
Assuming we're supposed to present gun. It's the only thing that actually says 2 fires were shot.
No wait. Oh no wait, that's a good situation. Okay, yeah, pressing the fourth one. I think the gunshots don't really matter for this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey?
Sure, I'm sure.
Lotta seems overconfident in her testimony. Lotta, please, think back to the day one more time.
What you getting at?
Remember what you said when we broke into the room? Seen this. You saw the murderer at that time. You couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not. Am I correct?
Well, yes, see.
Fair point, but also is a detail you're gonna blank out on.
Order. Mrs. Hart, you're here to present accurate testimony. Yeah, sorry.
Good. This shifts things back to my side.
Right, defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix White. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered, one of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah? It was Maya that went in.
It looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey. Exactly.
Rats. I'm trapped like one. Again! Now what?
Again.
Are you absolutely certain of that?
Sure am. But that old witch chases us out of the room, so...
Old witch? Does she mean Morgan Fey?
But there's no one else in there, and you know it.
The channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Is there really no one else in there? What about... What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there?
Given.
Huh? What in the...
Given, you know. You reckon that's a given. I took a good look around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hiding out behind the folding screen. If I may have a word with you, Mrs. Hart. What you got a problem? Well, given. I mean, I'm having a little difficulty in understanding you. You would stop saying such things as... Now then, Mr. Phoenix White, do you see a problem with the testimony, or do you, or don't you?
God, her story adds up. What's worse, I was there at the scene of the crime with her. And her story's exactly how I would have told it too.
Okay, I think you have to press everything, really.
You should have said so.
Yeah.
We're gonna get there anyway. Was it really only those two that went in?
What are you babbling about? You were there too, were you not?
Oh,
Why don't you answer that yourself? Was it really just the two of them?
yes, Dr. Gray and Maya were the only two that went into the room.
Hold on, we can't have the defense testify against its own client. Anyway, folks, only the two of them went in the general chamber. You hear? But you knew that from the very beginning, didn't you? Witness continue. Okay, we pressed that already.
Skip this.
It's just like, why do you have to press it?
We were gonna do that anyway, so...
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down? Climber? You there, buddy? I'm not hearing anything from you. Oh no, something's happened. Discord, what have you done? Typical. Hang on a second. Safety save. That up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What happened?
Headset.
Fuck's sake. You need a new one, mate.
Yeah.
Well, let's just hurry this up then.
Honestly, Mr. Felix, why didn't you tell us what happened then?
Yes, Miss Von Karma, I broke the door down. Sorry. Why does it feel like an inquisition?
No need for apologizing. That was great. You're a real man. Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see.
Not just smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. Oh, just as I thought, there's nothing wrong with her testimony. I was with her, so I know she's telling the truth.
Enough. It seems that there are no issues with Mrs. Hart's testimony. At the time of the crime, only two people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Tyler Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fay. The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant.
Going to do? Not just let this go.
What is it, Mr. Felix Wright? You look as if you have something to say.
If I make one wrong move, I'm gonna have the judge against me. Anything I can present that would prove it's not Maya in that photo.
You cannot yet.
Okay.
This is also that I don't like that it's like this, oh, you are going to lose until something saves you.
Yeah.
It happens too often, I feel like it. Well, Mr. White.
Nothing, Your Honor.
That's very smart of you, Mr. Phoenix White. You really should give up trying to prove things. Prove this is not Maya Fay.
I didn't say anything about giving up. Just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument.
That's enough.
Is this it? Is this all I could do?
I think it's quite obvious to this court that the verdict of not guilty is not possible. I told you, totally 100% impossible. Mr. Nkala, do you have any further questions for this witness? Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be needed. What about the defense? No further questions, I presume?
I couldn't protect Maya. The defense... The defense...
Phoenix. Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. There is someone who smiles, no matter how bad it gets.
Mia. Huh?
guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say?
Raises so many questions. I get the idea.
Yeah.
Capcom, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's...
I'm more questioning like, how the fuck does the clothes still fucking fit?
And it barely does, but yeah. Also, it's like, you know, just picture this like from the audience point of view. Because the judge is too stupid to realize it. But
This 8-year-old girl just suddenly grew to a full woman height.
yeah, exactly. And that, you know, predates by why does Phoenix 5 bring an 8-year-old as his aide to a quad?
But pearls.
Close are a bit small.
Statement of the century.
Yeah. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Felix? Let's go.
But how? She's already taken away every advantage.
The advantage is still in your hand. Think carefully. One more time about what you saw in the channeling chamber. Do you remember what you told me yesterday?
Dr. Gray. It's again.
Yeah. You see, there's one final piece to this puzzle.
Yeah?
Question Lotta one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it unconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully. Lotta, this court would like to end the cross-examination period.
Please wait, Your Honor. The defense would like to request that the witness testify one more time.
Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. White. The cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore, it's fine. I will allow another testimony.
This'll be a downfall.
Evan Karma's case is perfect. Absolutely flawless. And what better time than this for you to see that? But I mean, I have some place I must go after this. All right, I'll allow it. Mrs. Hart, hurry and give us another testimony. Well, what am I supposed to talk about?
Please tell us once more what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber.
Okay, you got it. See, got through to the chest somehow, right?
Not sure if it was me doing that.
Yeah.
Actually, it was Von Karma's whip that got through him.
Like on the esoteric it's like they just know the money so good that there's like how many times they just you think something and then they say it or like think it, it's like
I can't tell if it's like, this world is fit for me.
yeah. When you broke into the room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kinda scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot.
She took 2 pictures.
Yeah. Nothing sounds different from before.
Some parts of her testimony are very vague. I should press her on those sections.
Talk it all you like as you taste the bitterness of your defeat. Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix White. I'm waiting.
I have to press on all of them.
Just press the fourth one.
Okay. Two, right?
To what?
2 shots. You took 2 shots.
Well, only one has been submitted as evidence.
Miss Hart, where is the other picture you've been withholding?
No, you got it all wrong, it's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. How can it be a little mean? But I ain't evil.
Well, at least she knows herself.
Dude, why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet? Well, in stories, the prosecutor human told me to shut my trap about it.
How is this legal? Like, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to, like...
Withhold evidence.
Yeah, especially from the witnesses. It's like, that's not how that works.
So that should work, yeah.
It's like, it's on the verge of bribery, technically.
The bribery, but you know, it's like...
Well,
manipulation?
You can do it via bribery to make them shut up.
Yeah.
Either way, this is so not legal.
Yeah, it's like... hardcore manipulation. It's like... Oh, this proves that couldn't be it. No, yeah.
What? Von Karma!
Mr. Karma, you are hiding critical evidence.
Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this? Bad as your father. Should I leave it to the judge?
You can choose yourself.
Ah, fuck it. I could be shunned down anyway. Your Honor, the defense asked the prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court.
Well, you... Me, in contempt of court? You can't be serious.
What you're doing is a very amateur move. For a professional. But you hid evidence from the court. On purpose. That's not fair!
Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a school child?
Says the woman who's possessing one.
Yeah, but I know who I am.
God, I was so angry I lost my composure.
Miss Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to this court? I thought this picture was not important and thus felt no need to submit it. That's all.
That's the worst excuse you can ever give.
Yeah, this
legit,
is like...
it's evidence regardless. Provide it anyway.
And also, you can see the picture. It's like, how the hell can you think this wasn't important?
How could you think...
The pictures were more or less the same, so what matter with the second?
Smallest difference can make the biggest changes.
It's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence.
More trouble than it's worth? How can you say that?
If you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it.
Okay, great, let's have a look. Oh no, this changes everything. Look, the sleeve is missing the bullet hole. Shut up.
What is this picture? It's obviously the second picture the witness took the day at the scene of the crime. Well, it's a little off-center, but that's what you get with a nervous amateur. I think the important part is the person in this picture. This is most definitely not Maya Fey.
Well, we could use that for our defense, but not gonna work.
What is the meaning of this?
This might be the break I was looking for. Should I or should I not insist that the person in this picture is not Maya? That's actually a good point. Will I insist that or assuming you insist, but then they're just gonna throw the whole debacle and the whole possession thing on me, aren't they?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I think it's just good to...
Well, technically, his mindset. Your Honor, as you can plainly see, the person in the picture is not Maya Fey.
Yes, I can see that. It's not just her face, her whole body has taken on a different appearance.
Sure. There is only one conclusion that can be drawn then. That somehow, this other person snuck in and traded places with the defendant.
Order! 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 Well, yes, I believe you're correct, Mr. White. The person who was inside the silent chamber was not Maya Fey.
Mia, we did it!
Not too soft.
Huh?
Ja, softer than Aunt Morgan's Vorbereitet ist als Phoenix. Take a look at Prosecutor Wakama's face.
She's smiling?
I think you had better continue to worry, Mr. Phoenix, right? Miss Wakama, what do you mean by that? Your Honor, I would like you to take a look at this picture. This was taken yesterday at the detention center's visitor room.
How did she know this was gonna happen?
This is Mr. Phoenix Wright and the defendant, Maya Fate, during his visit. Also, how did you take this picture?
How did she take it? How did she know this was going to happen?
Maya Fate, but isn't she a totally different person? She looks this way because she's obviously in the middle of channeling a spirit.
How absurd! He says while standing next to the child who's become a fully grown adult.
Yeah.
If you want evidence, it's standing right next to you.
Yeah, and I honestly really glad that they did this because I was not sure if it's actually happening or if Phoenix is the only one that sees the physical change. It's unbelievable that she can. Yet it is the truth. When Maya Fate is in that state, she physically changes into the person she's calling. I don't do like that they still have the same hairdo all the time.
Oh, with some limitations.
Miss Wakama, a word if you may.
Mia!
Taking pictures of someone during a private visit is illegal. Surely you know that that picture can't be submitted as evidence.
Also, it's not relevant to the current case.
Obviously, I know this picture is illegal, but I never intended to submit it as evidence in the first place.
What is she?
The moment I showed this picture to the court, this case became all mine. After all, this image has now been forever burned into the judge's mind. I already forgot about it. You showed me something?
I don't. Single witty line.
It looks like we've been had. I don't claim to understand this, and I still cannot believe it. Are you saying that this person is the defendant, Maya Fey?
I give up here. The trial will end. But if I slip up and say something wrong, it will cost me. Is there any way I can prove that the person in this picture is not Maya? Should be able to prove it with the outfit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Your Honor.
Oh, the fire has returned to your eyes, I see.
This picture...
Does the judge also have a question, Phoenix?
I don't know, he's been around long enough, maybe. Within this picture lies a critical contradiction to all the testimony up until now.
A contradiction? So you think you spotted the problem with this picture? Then earn your keep. Why don't you point out exactly where it is?
It's on the left.
Yeah, it was on the left there.
Please direct your attention here.
To the sleeve? But there isn't anything odd about it.
Lacking of it. And that is exactly what is so odd. Something that should be there is suddenly missing.
Should be there. Huh.
There was a bullet hole in the sleeve of the defendant's costume. If that's the case, then it should be in this picture as well.
Miss Wakama, you intended to hide this valuable piece of evidence. You will most certainly be assigned a penalty for this.
Yay. Alright, this should do some major damage to our argument.
Don't celebrate yet.
You like to bring down the mood, don't you?
Take a look at Mrs. Von Karma's face.
Gosh, she's got that condescending grin plastered all over her face again.
This, jumping the gun again, I see, Your Honor. I would like to extend an apology on behalf of those incompetent fools. What do you mean? And what incompetent fools? If those fools down at the precinct hadn't missed the bullet hole, I would have gotten a report about it.
Right, fuck, she really thought ahead about this.
As I didn't. I could have known that this picture was of any value to this kid. You can see her fucking face.
Yeah, but the argument being is that originally the clothing was submitted without the bullet hole intentionally.
Yeah.
She intentionally figured out a way to remove that from the report.
Yeah, but it's just like this piece still should have made it into evidence because you can see the face of the other person, and that's fucking important. I see.
She's lying through her teeth, I know it. That woman knew about everything. The bullet hole, the picture, everything.
But you can't prove that. Franziska Von Karma's idea of a perfect case is quite fascinating, don't you think? Your Honor, you need not to worry. If you must assign a penalty, I'll personally make sure that that detective gets what's coming.
Actively dodged the bullet.
I'm sure there'll be a great garnishing of teeth at this next salary discussion.
Literally, her method of getting a perfect case is making it set up so that she couldn't have possibly made a mistake by making it seem like she didn't. Shoe.
In any case, this is a very big problem. When the defendant was taken into custody, the class had a bullet hole in its sleeve. However, from this photo, it would appear that right after the shooting, there was none. The judge is confused by the strange twist of events. This is your chance, Philippe. Not only you've got into this one shot, alright?
Got it. Watch this, Maya. Your Honor, there is only one logical explanation for the contradiction. Yeah, it's obviously fake. I mean, shit, actually, what the correct thing. I mean, you can say the bullet hole was, but so logically the shooter is someone else.
Yeah, it's like somebody would have heard that there were no 2 shots fired already, and not a third one from there.
Or it was faked.
Yeah.
The defendant's sleeve had a bullet hole in it. However, this person clearly does not. There can be only one explanation. The person who shot Dr. Gray was not the defendant, but a different person altogether.
What? Order! 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 If order is not restored, I will suspend this trial.
Ah,
The defense's argument is a complete mess.
complete mess? I fail to see how. Please, enlighten us.
Hey, witness. What in the heck? Is there any way to ask a girl a favor? Be quiet, you. You were the one who said it was only the 2 of them when you entered the room. Well, you know, if you were lying, I swear that my room will be the last thing you'll see. Look, sis, you're looking mighty scary, so why don't you say you... I swear I wasn't lying or nothing. There wasn't anywhere else in there, honestly. You see, now, we'll admit this, Mr. Phoenix, right? Where did the defendant vanish to? And where did this other woman appear from?
Is it lately all I want to do is cry?
Well, if the person in this picture is not the defendant, then this poses 2 very big questions. First, Where did the defendant vanish to? And second, where did this person come from? That's right, now hurry up and answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Come on, you can't fall apart here, Phoenix Wright.
I can't believe that even Mia's calling me by my full name. But, I mean, how am I supposed to prove something like this?
Had enough yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Or do you think you have enough in your... turn things around even now?
Turn things around? That's right. Mia would always turn things around and change her perspective.
Phoenix?
So, where did this intruder appear from? And where did Maya disappear to? I need to look at this situation from a different angle. Let's see. What if, before we broke in, the third person was already in the room? And what if Maya had left the room somehow? I could prove that either one of those conditions were true.
Mr. Wright, let's see what you've come up with.
I think what happened before we forced our way into the challenge chamber is... something I can't explain yet would be the correct answer, wouldn't it?
It's Maya had left the room.
So she did. Maya had left the challenge chamber at some point, and the defense can prove this.
Oh, how a foolish fool makes a foolish face but dreaming foolishly foolish dreams.
Ooh.
Faye was being locked after by her aunt, Morgan Faye. The chances of her leaving the crime scene is lower than the detective's salary. Anyway, let's see some evidence. Proof that from the murder until the time of arrest, the defendant had left the room.
He, right?
Yeah.
Miss Hart, do you remember this key?
I've seen it. Hey, that's the channeling key, right? For the channeling started, may I lock the door from the inside with that? The defendant herself locked the door? Yeah, that's why I couldn't get the door open. He's the only one of its kind after all. Oh, one of a kind you say. Wait, Mr. Phoenix, right?
Yes. She's catching on.
I'm afraid to ask, but why is that key currently in your possession? What do you mean?
If Maya Fey locked herself in, then the key should have been with her.
Yes, agreed.
However, she did not have the key at the time of her arrest.
Ain't that a kick? How come you're holding it?
I got this as a present from a certain little girl. But not little right now. And that little girl was nowhere near the crime scene at the time.
That's preposterous.
This means that Maya Fey must have left the room. If she had not, then I would not be holding this key you see before you.
No!
Or she didn't pull the withholding evidence card on me there.
I mean, you're not the prosecution, so... It seems you have come to an impasse. This picture has clearly captured the face of the murderer. However, is this person the defendant or not? The defense is arguing that this person is not the defendant. Furthermore, as proof this key has been submitted as evidence. Miss Onkama, how can this be? At this point in time, a verdict on the defendant's guilt is not possible. My perfect case? How is there a flaw in my perfect case?
Haven't lost it yet.
Don't you think you've won yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I am a prodigy. I have never lost a case.
I love when a prodigy falls.
Yeah. And I don't intend to lose here in this courtroom to a fool like you. I don't care what I have to do. I will get my guilty verdict. Again, you should not be saying that in court.
That's cute.
That's enough. If you would like to continue, do so in the lobby. Court will reconvene tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is all. Court is adjourned. Wow. That was you, Pearly. You summoned my sis. Yes, I felt like I had no choice. Great going, Tom. I knew you were special. Hey, Nick, did you know?
Yeah. It's not like anyone else in there could have done that.
Nick, I know you're trying really hard and all, but I really don't remember ever leaving that room. And I don't think that the third person could have gone into that room.
Yeah. Well, at least we have until tomorrow to figure things out. Like, what happened in that room, for instance?
Yeah, I'm counting on you. Ah, I envy the two of you. Oh, by the way, Nick, do you think you could take Polly back home for me?
Sure. Alright, Pearls. You ready to go buy some tickets?
Huh? Can?
Thing. Sheltered. I do my best
I
not to
will
ruin
just
it.
run there again. It only took me 1.5 hours.
What? So, stop. Back button.
Yeah.
Look, different thing. Okay, now I can save. This is the
Yeah,
real
it's
save
fine.
file because I gotta close the game, but I can only do that after loading up the
Yeah.
preview. Alright, that'll do for a stream. Let's check back on Monday for Ace Attorney. Till then, bye all.
Bye.
Fantastic.